Look at his cock! Look at his Samoan cock!
Roman Reigns, if I say that he is your favorite wrestler, I'm 80% wrong. And if you're angry about that, you can write me a comment, fuck you. So if you're easily offended because of an opinion, make sure to leave me a bad comment and get the fuck out of here. Roman Reigns, a failed project by the WWE. You know who's the biggest Roman Reigns fan? Roman Reigns himself. You know who believes in Roman Reigns? Vince McMahon. And that's about it. When it comes to Roman Reigns, I do think he is a great wrestler and he is a pretty good entertainer. Do I agree with him being pushed to the top even though fans don't want it? Of course not. I don't. Even if you are the biggest Roman Reigns fan, you cannot deny the fact that it's not a right decision to do. I think in 2018, this era of the WWE, we should have multiple faces of the company. Even John Cena said it during an interview that he believes it's not a right moment, right era to have only one guy, because the WWE fans are not the same they were back in fucking 10 years ago. Today we're going to look at every time Vince McMahon actually tried to make Roman Reigns over with the fans but failed miserably. So you, my beautiful sexy beasts, damn you look good, guys. Yes, you right here are watching 6 times Roman Reigns project failed in WWE. Royal Rumble 2015. This is going to have a right timeline, so let's start with the beginning of it. Royal Rumble 2015. Now let's get back to Royal Rumble 2014. At the end of the match, it was Batista versus Roman Reigns. Everybody cheered Roman Reigns because he wasn't pushed that much back then, and nobody wanted to see Batista win the Royal Rumble because it was too obvious. Because he was a returning superstar, it would be too obvious if he won the Royal Rumble. Nobody wanted that. So they cheered Roman Reigns. Now let's go to Royal Rumble 2015, where Roman Reigns was pushed down our throats, and the last guy we wanted to see winning Royal Rumble was Roman Reigns. Yeah, that should be obvious. Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win Royal Rumble, however he was eliminated pretty early. Wow. And after he was eliminated, we got Goldust, Titantron, Shattered Dreams. F off, WWE. So last man standing, Roman Reigns, Big Show, and Kane. If that doesn't tell you how desperate WWE were to push Roman Reigns, because nobody wants to see Kane and Big Show winning, so they might just want to see Roman Reigns winning.
Roman Reigns! Look at his cock! Look at his Samoan cock!
I see his Samoan cock and I'm not impressed, honestly. But we got Rusev versus Roman Reigns at the end of it because Rusev somehow was not eliminated and Roman Reigns still won the match. Good God. People booed. Even the attempt, at the same night they attempted to make him over by bringing back The Rock because he helped him, because the Authority cheated and The Rock was here. The Rock was raising Roman Reigns' hand, and even then it was the first time ever I seen returning The Rock getting booed by the WWE Universe, and his face tells it all. I mean, we're relatives, but they treat him like a failed sperm. That's the idea I got from his face. He wasn't too happy about it. So WWE's attempt to make him over by winning Royal Rumble 2015 was a total failure. It was not necessary, and it's still one of the worst Royal Rumble main events of all time. WrestleMania 31. Of course, during the same year we got WrestleMania 31. And what is the main of that? Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Let me start by saying nobody gave a shit before the show. Nobody invested in the match. It was one of the worst builds ever. The only moment that I can actually remember are some interviews backstage and them fighting over a title like doggies, like 2 bitches. Who cared? Although I gotta give credit where credit is due, because I don't think Roman Reigns is a bad wrestler. The match actually was surprisingly good. However, it failed when it was so bad, so uninteresting, I'm not talking about the match itself, that WWE just decided to bring Seth Rollins and cash in because they knew that this main event is going to just be terrible and nobody is going to care and everybody is going to leave unhappy. So instead of making Roman Reigns a winner, they decided to put Seth Rollins in the match and he cashed in, won the WWE Championship. So that tells you that was one of the biggest failures of Roman Reigns as well, because it didn't got him over. Talking about that, we're going to see this match in 2018 as well at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 32. Next year, next main event of Roman Reigns. So WWE's logic was right here. Royal Rumble. we cannot make Roman Reigns a winner again because they will boo. Let's make Royal Rumble for the championship. It's going to be for a championship. You win the match, you win the championship. So let's bring Triple H. He wins the title, so that way Roman Reigns doesn't have to win the Royal Rumble, but he will be in the main event of WrestleMania because he's in a rivalry with Triple H. Gotta give credit where credit is due again, because it was a better rivalry than it was with Brock Lesnar. The build itself was okay, the problem was nobody cared, and it failed on so many levels. Let's start with the fact that during the rivalry where Triple H pretty much beaten him, there was blood involved. There was so much blood. It was supposed to make you feel bad for Roman Reigns, to feel sympathetic for him, but people cheered. People cheered a heel who was just destroying the guy in pieces. They cheered, they were like, oh fuck yeah, this guy is hella good. Who cares about Roman Reigns? So it failed on that level, and it also failed during the main event where he was booed, Triple H was cheered. It was one of the worst main events, it was one of the worst matches I've ever seen by Roman Reigns. It was a terrible match, terrible main event, and terrible moment. Roman Reigns leaves the WWE with the WWE Championship. Everybody was expecting a heel turn. That didn't happen. He leaves with the WWE Championship, and everybody just felt disappointed and underwhelmed. It was the most boring and safest way WWE can do a match. That was another time the WWE coronation of Roman Reigns failed, and it proves because he's going to have another coronation this year, in 2018. WrestleMania 33. Again, another main event of Roman Reigns. And they didn't even announce that it's going to be at the main event because they didn't want it a backlash. We thought that the main event is going to be Goldberg versus Lesnar, which is still, meh. But we got Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. Now, The Undertaker's streak was broken by Brock Lesnar. What did we get? What do we get? Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, and we're like, oh man, Undertaker beating Roman Reigns? Why? Oh no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. Roman Reigns won against The Undertaker, and somehow in the brain-dead minds of WWE Creative, beating The Undertaker, one of the biggest legends in the WWE, is going to be like, oh man, Roman Reigns is hella good. Roman Reigns is hella good. He just retired The Undertaker. Now, I didn't like Roman Reigns before, but because he retired The Undertaker, not only I'm a fan, I wanna suck his cock, I wanna lick his balls. That doesn't happen like that. If anything, people just started to hate Roman Reigns even more because he was the guy that retired one of their favorite legends of the WWE. I'm not quite sure if he retired, but still winning against The Undertaker is not going to make you over, it's just going to make you the most hated guy in the WWE. Let's think about it. Let's look at Brock Lesnar, the heat that he got after he defeated The Undertaker. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but if they're not, they're fucking stupid. So it was another failed WWE attempt to make him over, and that's it. Except it's not. They're still trying to put this guy over instead of turning him heel, and let's move on to the next one. No Mercy 2017. No Mercy in 2017. Face of the company versus face of the company. John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Who is going to win this match? Yes, Roman Reigns. Who cared? Nobody even remembers that. It was so unmemorable. From this kind of match, at least me expects this. One of the guys turn heel because these are the most wanted heel turns in the WWE, and if that happened, so much attention to the WWE would go. Roman Reigns wins with a spear, 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins the match. That's about it. Yeah, I gotta say the build for this was pretty good. Shots fired to Cena, shots fired to Roman Reigns, some past, some drug being brought to the storylines. It was good. The promos were amazing because John Cena kinda carried Roman Reigns, and we got Roman Reigns being better on the microphone as well. I appreciate, don't get me wrong during this video, I appreciate Roman Reigns, I don't appreciate WWE's booking of the guy. So after this match, nothing really changed. He was still booed, and that was about it. And that's not it. No, that's not it. Let's move on to the last one. The Shield Reunion. So many of you think that Shield Reunion is just to bring back the ratings, to bring back excitement. It's a treat for the fans because everybody loves the Shield. Except no, it's just a way to make Roman Reigns over with the fans, because when you see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose next to Roman Reigns, you're not gonna boo them. You can't. So WWE makes sure every time Roman Reigns is in the ring, there's Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose near him, most of the time. They gotta make sure, because you cannot boo Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania. it's just so obvious, and there are some people that don't get it.
The great one, you just bitch and moan. You are a bitching, moaning bitch.
No, I'm just saying how I see it and how it actually is, because it's so obvious. Go get the big dog, Seth Rollins' line of 2006. I will never forget that. Go get the big dog. Go get the big dog. Good God. But even this is failing, because once Roman Reigns comes out by himself, or he picks up the microphone, everybody's still booing, so it doesn't help that much. It helps a little bit, not by much though. So it's another failed project of Roman Reigns. Let me know more that I actually missed during this timeline, because there were so many minor things like League of Nations and stuff, but I just picked the biggest ones, the most that mattered and the most that should have put him over, but it didn't. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about this video. Make sure to click that like button. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram. The real links are in the description because there are a lot of fake ones. Make sure to watch my videos. I don't know. The great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.